Hello and welcome to our third episode of building a computer, and today we're going to be talking about picking out RAM. And to do this, you're going to have to go back to your motherboards that we picked out, or the one that you picked out, and so we're going to go to the details and we're going to look at what it supports. So memory, here we go. DDR3 1600. We're not going to look at this overclock number. 1333. 1066. So these are the different speeds that it supports. This is the type of memory that it supports, but this is pretty standard. You're not going to find any other memory. And this is the max amount of memory. And this is the channel type that it supports. And we're going to go look back, and it's pretty similar support. This does support slightly faster. This is the Asus. The other one was the Gigabyte Intel motherboard, and again, dual channel, same standard type, and 32 gig. So to get to it on Newegg, you're going to go computer hardware, or you're going to go to the home page, computer hardware, and memory. Now you can get that confused with like hard drive space, but it's memory. Then you're going to want to go desktop memory, and then you're going to come down to, so there's a bunch of manufacturers, and we're going to go with the 24 or 240 pin DDR3 memory. Capacity doesn't really matter at the moment. Actually, most of this stuff doesn't matter, but we're going to go, since both of them support dual channel kits, high performance gaming, and Newegg would be the seller, and dual channel, because all the motherboards support dual channel. And this is going to come up again with the most reviewed. Generally, you're going to want at least 4 gigs, so this one could work fine. This could work fine with you. 4 gigs of memory. It's fast. It's gonna work fine with whatever you do. Yeah, this is gonna work. Yeah, with the i5 CPUs. But this is for P55 chipset. So you may have to look around for one that fits your chipset. Some of them, AMD, AM3 Plus. Second and third generation Intel Core processors. So this is going to fit us fine, and this is actually 8 gigs. So this is actually what I would go for, because it's got this speed, but actually this won't work. This one won't work. So we got to go again. We got to look again. Generally, I don't want to go with a 1300 just because it's too slow for me. I'm going to want to go with a 1600 8 gig. Here we go, right here. Yeah, second and third generation Intel Core processors. And this should also support the AMD processors, but it's not saying that it is. So I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to go with another one, just to make sure that we cover all the bases. This is actually, I think, the one that I have. No, I use these for a different one. I use G-Skill RAM for my build. I think I may have used this one because these work with AMD. No, I have 8 gigs for my AMD. Generally, you're gonna want 4 at the least. 6 to 8 is generally what I recommend. RAM is so cheap, so you don't really need to spend that much money on it. It's $50. That's really cheap. It used to be like 70 to 100. It used to be a lot more. Let's see if this works with AMD. Details. There's gaming, tested, P67 platform. These aren't really saying that they work with AMD, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. 1600 is the speed that I want, so we're going to narrow down again. Again, this is a dual channel kit, but this is 4 times 4 gigabytes for 16 gigabytes of RAM. I don't know who needs 16 gigabytes of RAM. I sure don't. I think 8 is the max, but I don't even use 6 most of the time. I think this is 2 gigs of RAM. This is not enough. This is slightly more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But I'm sure we'll find something. this should work with the AMD, but I just want to find something that's going to work. It's going to make sure it's going to work. This Patriot may work with AMD. I just want the assurance that it's going to work with AMD. They're really not giving anything that's going to say it's going to work with AMD. Likely, in all likelihood, it's going to work. You can always look it up. Look up the RAM and see if it's going to work with AMD. Odds are it's going to work with AMD. It's not. They're not going to make RAM that's just going to work with. I think we already looked at this one. But yeah, 57 platform. Generally, I like Corsair. Makes very good RAM. I like their RAM. Corsair, G-Skill, I like them too. Yeah, this is all talking about Intel, just because they're more compatible with. But all of this RAM should work with AMD too. You shouldn't really have a problem there. But you can also go to your motherboard's manufacturer's website, and that will tell you what RAM. As long as it's dual channel, it will work with AMD. So I think I'm going to go with this one for both builds. I think this is, it's not that expensive. It's got that speed that we want. It's 8 gigs of RAM. It's plenty of RAM. And RAM isn't really something that you should skimp on, just because RAM is, the requirements for operating systems is going up. Upgradability is there when you get that better RAM. And thank you for watching. And go to the next episode.